Okay, well, I think this year's world travel market reflects the challenges of the economic climate, but I do feel that we've weathered the storm really well. We will have 4,900 companies exhibiting. We're slightly larger than last year. We've seen, what's been really encouraging is actually we've seen Europe hasn't grown dramatically, but it has grown a bit. The areas that we've seen a bit of a downturn are not to be unexpected in places like the Middle East. We've seen a bit of a downturn in Africa, which has been disappointing, but growth coming through, very encouraging growth coming through Asia and South America. So I think we've got more exhibitors, we are bigger, but I think the shape of the show reflects the state of the global economic environment. So you're seeing growth coming out of the emerging economies, you're seeing stagnation coming out of Europe, and the Middle East is struggling, and Africa has seen a downturn this year. And I think that's largely because of there's fewer UK visitors visiting Africa at this moment in time because of the currency exchange rates experiencing through South Africa and some of the other African destinations. Our vision of 2013, with some of the developments that we're also bringing into World Travel Market, with us focusing on the luxury market, looking at introducing the business travel sector into the show. I mean, a lot of people might think that business travel, it's a smaller niche part of the industry, and that actually we will add a lot of value to business travel market, and absolutely we will do that. But I think equally business travel market will add value to World Travel Market because it will start to bring some of the major airlines into World Travel Market, some of the key industry players that you don't necessarily see because their focus isn't necessarily on the leisure side of the industry. Technology is absolutely driving change. The reality is, I think it's not going to be too far away from the fact that, you know, with mobile technology, we're going to be able to book holidays on our mobile phone. I mean, I think there needs to be a consumer acceptance that that is something that they're comfortable doing. But I suppose the area that I think is the most exciting is probably the development of smart television, so that, you know, ultimately we will be able to sit in our living rooms, we'll be able to watch television, we'll be able to watch TV programs. Travel companies are going to be able to support and you know, market themselves through television, and as soon as the program's finished, then you'll also be able to book that holiday.
They can do that now, can't they? It's been a spectacular failure so far, isn't it?
Yeah, but you have to bring the consumer alongside, and the rate of change of technology development is such that it is so fast moving that it actually leaves a lot of us behind. And so, you know, and it's a generational thing as well. But what I also found quite interesting is the fact that some of the research that we've done shows that depending on the age bracket in which you're in, then there is actually more support being given to the travel agency world now as well. And I think there's been changes and shifts in that market. I think, you know, a lot of travel agents now have learned to become much more specialised, much more professional. They know and understand the industries and the markets that they're servicing, and they understand their clients much better. And therefore that personal tailored service that's being offered through the travel agent is still very reassuring to a lot of people. And depending on what age bracket you're in, whether it's your young generation or the older generation, then absolutely the travel agent still has a role to play.
Last year you touched on the difficulties of inbound tourism, the visa situation. 12 months on, has it changed at all, or is it worse?
It's still an issue of serious debate. It's one of the reasons why it's being taken up by the UN WTO and the WTTC, and why we are having it as a key topic of debate at the WTM Ministerial Summit tomorrow. The difficulties and challenges people experience in getting visas to come into this country still prohibit travel and inbound travel. And it's interesting when you see that somebody like President Obama, who's sort of made it a lot easier for people to end up visiting destinations like Cuba, like North Korea, and actually the growth of tourism that is now coming from the US into those markets. So you can see the correlation, and that's something that as an industry we have to be very cognizant of.